Jason Mayhem Miller arrested again, ladies and gentlemen. He just was released from prison in May, and he was arrested again. We're going to get into this story and talk a little bit about Mayhem's career here. Jason Mayhem Miller, August 29th, 2023, was arrested for allegedly choking a male fan at the Sunset Marquee in West Hollywood. The fan was said to simply have approached Mayhem Miller to say hello, but a verbal confrontation eventually turned violent. So violent and actually so bad that security had to interfere. Now, sheriffs were called, but they did not get to the scene in time. Mayhem had already fled the scene before authorities were there. He did come back the next day. That's right, the next day he did show up again at the Sunset Marquee in West Hollywood, and security monitoring video cameras and also word of mouth from staff led to his quick arrest as the authorities were called then. He was recognized and thus arrested on scene. He was released upon spending a few hours in jail as the investigation is still ongoing and no official charges have been made. Man, oh how he has fallen. What was it, 2010, 2011? He was just coming off the Bully Beatdown MTV show, which was an unbelievable show, ran for 3 seasons if I'm not mistaken.
This is me.
Is popular in Dream.
Have a look at that. The Japanese schoolgirl. God bless you, Jason Miller. You are living my fantasy.
Popular in Strikeforce. Made a name for himself in mixed martial arts. Made a brand for himself at a time when mixed martial arts was so niche and there weren't those big stars. Funny enough, him and Rampage were actually very, very close. And I kind of get it. They both have those very extroverted personalities. They're both kind of cartoon characters at times. Just Mayhem, it was almost too close to reality, whereas Rampage, you can see, love jokes, love joking around, but can turn it off and on. I feel like it consumed him more than he used it to his advantage. His wires crossing, wasn't always in the cage. A lot of the time it was outside of the cage. I think just, yeah, that always being on, that always entertainer type of personality mixed in with fame, money, drugs, women, and getting hit in the head for a living. It's not a good mix there. It's not a good mix at all. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen Bully Beatdown either, he was almost more famous from being the host of that show than his success in Strikeforce, his success in Dream, which Dream was Pride 2.0. For those of you who don't know, when Pride went down, they came back as Dream before Dream shut down, and now they are rising. Just for some context, by the way, of how steep his decline was, Jason Mayhem Miller has been arrested a total of 17 times since 2011. There was that one incident where he was like having a mental breakdown and live tweeting as the cops were trying to get him to exit his house.
Retired MMA fighter Jason Mayhem Miller remains in custody following a SWAT standoff in Orange County, which he live tweeted. The 33-year-old MTV reality show host is due to appear in court next week after sheriff's deputies attempted to serve him with an arrest warrant in connection with domestic violence and stalking accusations. Officials say that when they arrived, Miller ran inside the home and refused to come out. He tweeted updates telling his Twitter followers to come to the home to see the drama unfold and calling the police presence overkill, likening it to a bin Laden raid. Miller was arrested in August 2012 after he was accused of burglarizing a Mission Viejo church and setting off the building's fire extinguishers,
which was absolutely insane. In 2021, he was arrested for domestic charges, and because of all his past arrests and criminal history, he was actually slated to do some hard time, potentially a few years. Now, he served over a year and was recently let out, like we said, in May, only to be arrested again. Now, he is out of jail as the investigation is ongoing, like I said. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And just when you think he's going to be okay, kind of gotten his life back together, he gets himself into trouble again. Fighting people, abusing his partners, abusing women. Yeah, he clearly is mentally ill, and I hope he can get the help he needs, but at this point it seems like he's so far gone right now. I mean, it seems like every 3 years he jumps on Helwani's show too, and he's like, yeah, you know, I've been crazy and I've been messing up here, but I've gone back on track, and then it's like a week or two later we see something else happen. And that's what happened in 2021. Helwani brought him back on his show. I don't think the MMA Hour, so it might have even been a little bit before 2021. It might have been in 2019 when he was with ESPN still. They settled the beef, I think, a couple of years prior before that. Not even the beef, but they talked about the whole situation that happened when Mayhem's character took over Helwani's show and kind of trashed his studio a bit.
Ma'am, you know, man.
Yo, bro, I'm sick of it. Yo,
Okay.
you know what? You guys have your stupid internet radio show in your mom's basement. Stop calling me Mayhem.
Okay. Man, I'm concerned for you. I want to talk to you, man.
Mayhem with your crybaby story.
And it seemed like he was getting his life back together, only for the incident to happen in 2021, and now this again. For those who don't know, though, Jason Mayhem Miller, Bully Beatdown, legendary show. These sort of things happen in MMA. That infamous quote, him starting the brawl because he had a little rivalry against Jake Shields when Jake Shields was in Strikeforce, and the Diaz brothers versus the Mayhem camp. As when Jake Shields won the title, Mayhem jumps into the ring and starts fighting the scrap pack. I mean, there's so many moments in mixed martial arts.
Sometimes these things happen in MMA.
In the early mixed martial arts history and the development that have Mayhem Miller involved. In Dream,
You are living my fantasy.
when he'd make his walkouts, I don't want to say one of the first guys, but one of the guys to really take advantage of just that showmanship in Japan. His walkouts were legendary. His season coaching against Michael Bisping, he was honestly one of the better coaches in Ultimate Fighter history, in my opinion. The guys loved him. His fighter won the season, John Dodson, and it's just crazy. It's crazy, and for as much of a piece of shit that he has become, I hope that he eventually gets the help he needs. 42 years of age, 8 KO, TKO, 14 submissions, 4 decisions, 2-1-1 in Dream, 0-3 in the UFC, and like he was a big star. Like he was one of the big free agents that the UFC eventually signed, and it just did not work out well for him. 1-1 in Strikeforce and 1-0 in the WEC. So as you can see here, fought in Dream, fought in Strikeforce, and then the UFC signed him. He did the Ultimate Fighter season with Bisping, lost to Bisping, lost to CB Dalloway, and then Dalloway had an altercation, a fight backstage, and Dana White infamously cut him.
Something happened here backstage after Mayhem's done.
Mayhem's done. I had one more fight a few years later in Venator FC, and I think, yeah, he was supposed to fight Luke Barnett, but he weighed in at like, I think it was like 20 pounds over or something like that, and that fight was canceled. Dude, he's got wins over Tim Kennedy, Tim Stout, Hector Urbina, Robbie Lawler. Was supposed to fight George St. Pierre. Again, ongoing investigation. We will keep you guys updated, but yeah, I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Jason Mayhem Miller getting in trouble with the law again. Wish him the best, although I don't have high hopes.